Good evening, my dear friends, my dear masters, and my dear gods. Mahavatar TV welcomes you all to the 21 Days Holistic Wellness Program, Batch 18, Day 8. So, before commencing the session, I would like to offer my sincere pranamas to our great Grandmaster Mahavatar Babaji, and my sincere pranamas to our Grandmaster Brahmashri Subhash Patriji, and my humble pranamas to our beloved Master Dr. Ranganath sir. And I would like to convey my wishes to all the women, belated Women's Day. So today, the topic that I am going to share with you is about one such great woman who is known for her spiritual path, and for you know liberating so many women. So one such great mother, the whole India, and also her disciples and devotees abroad used to address her as the Holy Mother. Any guesses, masters? Any guesses? Who is she that I am talking about? She is none other than Sri Sharada Devi, wife of renowned Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the Master Ramakrishna Paramahamsaji, who is the founder of Ramakrishna Mission. So see, she is the backbone, and she is the force that built Ramakrishna Mission across globe. So we will know about her today. So it is my privilege that I got the opportunity to share about the Holy Mother. I'll try my best to deliver about her grace as much as possible from my side. So, Holy Mother life exemplifies spirituality in practice. So, great thing about Sharada Ma is she did not live in caves. Okay, she didn't do tapas or meditation in cave, but still she remained always serene and calm, doing all the discharging all her worldly duties. She attained the liberation, discharging all worldly duties, not renouncing the world, not renouncing the world. Okay, so the spiritual path generally, like as we believe that to be spiritual or to attain liberation for women especially, so there is a notion that she should renounce everything, like her desires, her feminine nature, that bounds, that is the reason of bondage, that she should renounce all these things, then only she can attain the liberation. So that is the common belief. But here Sharadama, being herself, being authentic in her true nature, how she attains liberation, the Mahasamadhi, and also she inspires the other endeavors and her disciples, the devotees, to take up the path, to practice, to practice her teachings, to take up the path that she took, being a common middle class housewife. So that is very inspiring. So she is calm and she is a reservoir of spiritual energy. She served all, irrespective of caste, creed, social position. See, Swami Vivekananda, he is the um, prominent disciple of Ramakrishna order. So, Swami Vivekananda explains about Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi has the ideals she lived and taught by her would not only spiritualize the efforts for the emancipation of women in India, but also influence and penetrate into the minds and hearts of women all over world. Holy Mother lived not in a cave or in a forest, but in ordinary homes and situations, replete with happiness and misery, illness and bereavements. She was in midst of worrisome and adverse circumstances and had to deal with people of diverse natures and temperaments. But she, with her motherly care, concern, and love, she served everybody. So one moment, Swamiji says that he used to found her doing ordinary domestic household chores. And the next moment, she would be giving spiritual advice or guiding the monks and novices and great leaders of Ramakrishna order. So her life has a great lessons for all women and men alike. Okay, let us know more about the life of Sharada Devi. Sharada Mani Devi, called Sharada for short, and later known and revered in India and abroad as Holy Mother, was born on 22nd December 1853 in a little village of Jairambati in district of Bankura in West Bengal. Her parents were Ramachandra Mukherjee and Shyamasundara Devi. So they were Orthodox Brahmins. They devoted to their traditional religious and social customs. So her father, Ramachandra Mukherjee, he used to, for the maintenance of the family. So he had a piece of land. So he used to do farming and produce and supplementing with that. He bought a small land. So, and also he used to do priestly duties in a nearby temple. Okay. So that gave him a small income to run his family. And her mother is Shama Sundara Devi, was very hardworking woman, innocent of crooked ways of the world. She looked after the details of the household. Sharada was the eldest child to the parents. So her parents were God fearing nature. So if once they declared, if they had not led a life of spiritual discipline, how could divinity have been born as their child? So it is said that before Sharada Devi's birth, both the parents had visions of foretelling that advent of a divine being. The simple villagers with whom Sharada grew up found relief from the misery of their daily lives in religious festivals, music, and devotional dancing. So an inner contentment derived from loyalty to the spiritual heritage of country, mitigated to the large extent the discomfort of their party. So Sharada Devi was very modest, and she was very contented child. She used to find happiness in little things like participating in religious festivals, music, devotional dancing. So through her devotion, so she from her early childhood, Sharda Devi was very devoted child. As years passed, one daughter and five sons were born after Sharada Mata's birth. But the irony is that their character was completely different from Sharada Mata. So with the exception of one, all the other brothers were very quarrelsome, greedy, and seldom they were recognizing the greatness of their sister and often tormenting Sharda Mata for money. So to one brother who had glimpse of her divine nature, begged her to be their sister in their lives to come. And she said, "What, catch me coming again into your family." Sharada herself developed into a gentle and guileless girl who never quarreled with her playmates and often acted as peacemaker in their misunderstandings and disagreements. Meticulously, Sharada Mata did her share of family duties, helping her mother in the kitchen, picking cotton in the fields, feeding the cattle, looking after her younger brothers and sisters. And now and then she accompanied brothers to school, and in course of time she could read Ramayana and Mahabharata. But she first became acquainted with spiritual culture of India through the religious songs and from the rural dramas depicting the scenes from Hindu mythology. At the age of 5, Sharada was married to Sri Ramakrishna. So this is before independence. So in 1800s, right? So child marriage existed in society. So she was married to Ramakrishna, who was 23 years old then. The master had been passing through a state of God intoxication. So, as he was completely indifferent to food, sleep, and other physical requirements and absorbed day and night in meditation and prayer, people took him for a madman. And his relatives finally hit upon the idea of finding him a wife so as to bring his mind to normal state. And Sri Ramakrishna also agreed to be married to Sharada Mata. And he even pointed out where his bride would be found. So, but immediately after marriage, he left for Dakshineshwar, that is his place, to plunge again into the spiritual disciplines. So, it was about 8 years after marriage, Sri Ramakrishna visited Sharada Mata's town, that is Kamarpur again. That Sharada had her first real contact with her husband, Sri Ramakrishna. The master, conscious of his responsibility towards his young wife, who completely depended upon him for guidance, proceeded to instruct her in both spiritual and secular matters. So he emphasized the need of such spiritual disciplines as non-attachment, self-control, meditation, and prayer, and taught her also the duties of a householder, how to serve guests, how to show respect to elders, discharge worldly duties in an unselfish spirit, and even how to trim a lamp, travel in a country boat, and ride in a railway train. The essence of his teaching was that one should act properly and intelligently with respect to persons, circumstances, time, and place. A lesson which Sharada Mata followed till the end of her life. In Sri Ramakrishna's company, her happiness knew no bounds. At that time, she said later, I always felt as if a jar full of bliss was set in my heart. So it is impossible to describe the fullness of that jar. So Sharada Mata was indeed very happy in her married life. Sri Ramakrishna had a foreknowledge of Sharada Devi's mission and continuously taught her about the unsubstantial nature of the world and the reality of God. The next 4 years, Sharada Mata spent at Jairambati, that is her hometown. So she missed her husband there. But she indulged herself in the household duties. And finally, she decides to go to Dakshineshwar and stay with her husband, Sri Ramakrishna. So during the trip, she was attacked with high fever and thought she would not be able to see her husband. But as she lay ill, she was assured in a vision by Divine Mother Kali that the purpose of her journey would be fulfilled. After recovering somewhat, she proceeded with her father. So reaching Dakshineshwar, Sharada went straight to Sri Ramakrishna's room. He received her cordially and made proper arrangements for her treatment. In no time, she discovered that her husband was as tender and affectionate as ever, if not so. Henceforth, She remained by his side as his wife and disciple. Sri Ramakrishna now devoted himself to teaching her abstruse spiritual truths and the disciplines to realize them in life. He also kept an eye on her health. Soon they developed between husband and wife an intimate relationship, which, however, existed on the level completely inscrutable to ordinary mind. One day, Sri Ramakrishna, finding Sharada Devi alone in his room, asked her, "Have you come here to drag me down to the life of the world?" So to this, Sharada Mata, she replied, "Certainly not. Why should I entangle you in the world? I am here to help you realize your spiritual ideal." To this, Ramakrishna told her that he saw no difference between her, his own mother, and the Divine Mother Kali. At night, they slept side by side in his room, and never once did they show the slightest physical attraction to each other. Now, Sharada Mata was almost 18 years old. Sri Ramakrishna was convinced that the ordinary relationship between husband and wife, sanctioned by society and religion, did not apply to them. Sharada was indeed a manifestation of Divine Mother, and he felt that time was ripe to fully awaken the divinity in her. On an auspicious night, he arranged in his room a special worship of Divine Mother. So Sharada took the place of the deity, and her husband offered her formal worship. Ramakrishna Paramahamsji, he offers formal worship to his wife Sharada Mata. As the worship proceeded, both worshipper and the worshipped entered into the deep state of samadhi. Both of them, they entered into deep state of samadhi. Sri Ramakrishna surrendered at her feet all fruits of his spiritual practices, which had now reached their culmination. The simple girl born and brought up in a faraway village was transformed into a veritable goddess and became at the same time conscious of the fact. Sri Ramakrishna used to sleep very little. So Sharada Devi's room was on ground floor because he never wanted that his he was always in the state of god intoxication. So he thought that might distress Sharada Mata. So Sharada Mata, he asked Sharada Mata to live in the ground floor of the house. So in that tiny room, she lived as long as the master remained at Dakshineshwar temple garden. She was, meditating, praying, and sleeping there. Often, one or two women devotees of the master shared the room with Sharada Mata at night. Cooking took up a great part of her time. Separate meals were prepared for Sri Ramakrishna, who had a weak stomach, and for the young disciples of the master, and occasionally an old woman devotee who was an orthodox Hindu widow. She was also used to be there with her in the in her room in Dakshineshwar. Sharada often visited her mother and relatives in village home. So generally, it is covering the distance of 60 miles on foot. So one such situation comes in her life where she has to face two highwaymen. Highwaymen means the people who rob others, right? But at that time, even Sharada Mata was so gentle that she calls them her father and mother, and they are moved by her innocence and gesture that they surrendered to Sharada Mata, and they realized that she was her means their daughter in previous life. And Sharada Mata took them to the Dakshineshwar to Ramakrishna, and Ramakrishna also treated them. He welcomes them as their own in-laws. So that was the kind of relationship Sharada Mata and Ramakrishna shared. Sharada Devi, Sharda Devi at Dakshineshwar alternated between unceasing activity and stillness of prayer. So her routine was very, um, so very laborious routine. She woke up before 4 o'clock in the morning and spent an hour and a half in meditation and worship. Then she began her round of duties: preparation of vegetables, cooking, attending on Sri Ramakrishna at meal time, and taking care of the women devotees, the widow devotees and old age old devotees, women devotees. So she used to take care of them who happened to be staying with her. She seldom went to bed before 11 o'clock in the night. So the joy of serving her divine husband overweighed all her physical privations, but she did not always have the privilege of being near him. Sometimes she scarcely had a chance to enter his room, even once in 2 months. Naturally, she felt distressed, but she would console herself with the words, "Oh, mine, why should you think yourself so lucky as to be able to see him every day?" She should stand for hours behind the screen of Ramakrishna's room on the porch of the room and listen to his singing. So it was thus how she contracted rheumatism. See, Sri Ramakrishna respected Sharada Devi for her intelligence and wisdom. Sri Ramakrishna was fully aware of Sharada Devi's divine nature and her future mission. He gave her detailed instruction about how to awaken the spirituality of her future disciples. On another occasion, he remarked to her, "Look at the people of Kolkata. They are swarming like worms in darkness. Please look after them." How little this means, referring to his own body, he says, "How little this has accomplished. You have a much heavier task." In her later life, she once said to a disciple, "The master regarded all creatures as manifestation of the divine mother. He left me behind to manifest the motherhood of God." The motherhood of God is a special feature of Hinduism. The absolute or the Brahman is something nameless, formless, attributeless, and unattached. From its standpoint, there is no creation, no preservation or destruction. The phenomenal world is created, preserved, and destroyed by its Shakti, or inscrutable creative power. This power and Brahman are inseparable, like fire and its power to burn, like a gem and its luster, like a word and its meaning. Shakti resembles an earthly mother in a special manner, for all created beings come out of its womb and are subsequently protected by it. Every normal woman feels the urge of motherhood, which has been planted in her heart by Lord Himself. Women who are creative in body satisfy this urge through physical offsprings, but a rare few creative in spirit satisfy the same urge through children of the spirit. Sharda Devi belongs to this later category, and thus she became mother to innumerable spiritual children. Sharada Devi. So people, her own mother bitterly used to complain that on account of Sharada's marriage to a man who was not interested in worldly life, she would never hear the sweet, soothing word mother. But Sri Ramakrishna reassured her with the promise that her daughter would have so many children that her ears would ache as if it were by constantly hearing the word mother. And Sharada Devi once complained to her husband in some strain. He said, "Why should you worry about children? I shall leave for you many children as pure as gold, the like of whom women do not obtain even through the austerities and prayers of million lives." Sharada Devi was very much satisfied. Okay. Okay. At last, um, so there as the days go by, master he suffers from throat cancer, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Then, yeah, yes. He gave up his mortal body. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsji gave up his mortal body on 16th August 1886. And so Sharada Devi, she stood by his beside and wept like a bereaved child. She cried and prayed to Mother Kali. So what I have done that you have gone away, leaving me alone and helpless. But immediately she restrained herself, returned to her room, and fell into solemn silence. When she was about to take off her ornaments and put on white garment of Hindu widow, Sri Ramakrishna appeared before her, took hold of her hands and said, "Why are you behaving like a widow? Am I dead? I have just moved from one room to another." So this vision was repeated several times with her, giving her courage and peace in the moments of despair and anguish. So from now, it will be appropriate to refer to Sharada Devi as Holy Mother. Then Sharada Devi, she moves to the Kolkata with her disciples. Her disciples, took charge of her responsibility. But she was very modest, that she believed that the modesty is the highest virtue of a woman. And also the master has told her, not to beg from anybody, you know so not to um, be helpless or longing. So that was the lesson, that was the thing that master Sri Ramakrishna has told Sharada Mata. So okay, next, at the loss, the untiring efforts of Swami Saradananda and other disciples of Ramakrishna order, a permanent house was built for her in Kolkata, so which she occupied in 1909, and where for most part she lived until she breathed her last. So Sri Ramakrishna said that when flowers bloom, bees gather around them of their own accord. As Holy Mother's inner life blossomed forth, spiritual seekers felt the irresistible attraction of its fragrance and came to her unasked. They came from all directions, whether she was in Kolkata or in her native village. But Sharada Mata was very loving mother. So she used to love even the wicked and the kind people in the same way. She used to love the wicked people also. So that was her love towards the people who came to visit her. So she used to say that whether a saintly woman or manifestation of divine Shakti, Holy Mother was to her disciples both Guru and Mother. She used to say, "This body will die someday, but let them be awakened." So this is the uh, way of Sharada Mata offering her service towards humanity and helping the women for emancipation. So she used to say to one of her devotees, Nivedita, "Never fear. Whenever you are in distress, just say to yourself, I have a mother." So there are few teachings that are described briefly here. Teachings of Sharada Mata. Everything depends upon one's mind. Nothing can be achieved without purity of mind. So it is said that the aspirant might have received the grace of the Guru, Lord, and his devotees, but he comes to grief without grace of one, that is his own mind. And Sharada Mata emphasis on the practice of meditation. So practice meditation, and by your mind will be so calm and fixed that you will find it difficult to keep it away from meditation. And whenever the mind goes after anything other than the God, consider that as a transient and surrender the mind at the sacred feet of the Lord. The less you become attached to the world, the more you will enjoy peace of mind. And one cannot escape the effect of one's past karma. But then if a person leads a prayerful life, he gets off with only the prick of a thorn in the leg, whereas he was to suffer from deep cut. So if you do not pray to God, what is that to him? What that has to do with God? It is only your misfortune. So that's why we have to do prayer and meditation. And also Sharadama used to say, when we see defects in others, so our own mind first gets polluted. What does we gain by finding faults in others? It only hurts others and ourselves. One must perform work. It is only through work that bondage of work will be cut asunder, and one will acquire a spirit of non-attachment. One should not be without work even for a moment. You should do work, no doubt. Work saves the mind from going astray, but then prayer and meditation are also necessary. So you must sit for meditation at least once in the morning and once in the evening. That will be like the helm to your So the thirst for material pleasure will be driven away by the utterance of Lord's name. So these are the important teachings of Sri Sharada Devi. And Sharada Devi, she left her mortal body on Tuesday, that is 21st July 1920. She breathed heavily several times and entered into a deep state of samadhi, from which she never returned to consciousness of the physical world. So this is about the glorious life of Mata Sharada Devi, a great saint. She lived saintly life, even being married to Ramakrishna Paramahamsaji, and she also discharged her duties as a householder and as a mother, also as a guide, the spiritual guide to young monks and the devotees. So this is about the life of Sharada Mata. I'll just share some photographs. So this is Sharada Mata with the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna order. So you can see Swami Vivekananda ji in the center. And in these here are the pictures of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa ji worshipping Sri Sharada Mata. So that is, that is a beautiful painting. So the pleasure and pain are necessary accompaniments of the body. The body is the resultant of one's past actions. So a man has to bear with it as long as the efforts of his past actions are not exhausted. And this is the regular picture of three masters of Ramakrishna order: Ramakrishna Paramahamsji, Mata Sharada Devi, and Swami Vivekananda ji. And this is the picture of Sri Sharada Mata with her women, that is the devotees, the women devotees of Sri Ramakrishna order. Okay. So any questions, masters? So that's what we have to do, is we have to do our work, and along with the work we have to meditate and indulge ourselves in the prayer. So it is only by surrendering ourselves at the feet of Lord we can, erase our past karmas or sins. So that is the main essence of the teachings of Sri Sharada Mata. So the source of the teachings is this book. This is Life and Teachings of Sri Sharada Mata, the Holy Mother, from Advaita Ashrama. So you can get this book in all Ramakrishna Mission, or you can also order this online. So it just cost 10 rupees. So you will get in complete detail. I just shared a few incidents of incidents and a few teachings very briefly, but whole story and the teachings of Sharada Devi is given here in this book. Complete teachings are in this book. Okay, if you have any doubts. Ma'am, this book is, I'll just show you. Okay. So it is available in Amazon and Flipkart. I will share the picture later in the group. So you can get this in any Ramakrishna mission, or the libraries of Ramakrishna Mission or Vedanta Society. There you can get this, the life and teachings of Sri Sharada Devi, the Holy Mother. So it is available. The larger version is also, means the, this is actually the small book. So the larger version that is also available in Amazon and Flipkart. I will share the picture of the book in WhatsApp. So it is actually published by Swami Bodha Saradananda, that is Advaita Ashrama. So you get this book, different volumes in any of the Advaita Society, Advaita Ashramas. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you so much, Sindhura ma'am, for bringing about life and teachings of Holy Mother Sharda Devi. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your wisdom. We learned so many things, like she got married. I think she got married when she's 6 years old. And
5 years. 5 years.
When she 6, and when she turned to 18, and then she went to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's home. Yeah, and we learned so many things about her. Thank you so much. And yeah, as masters, if you have any questions, you can ask Sindhura ma'am.
And also how a husband-wife relationship should be. The people, means those who want to attain spiritual liberation, emancipation, how the husband and wife should live their life with austerity. So that is very well described in this book. So you can read this. So then you will understand how beautiful was the relationship. Ramakrishna Paramahamsji used to regard Sharada Mata as divine mother. And he said there is no difference. He sees no difference between his own mother and Mother Kali and Sharada Mata. So this is where we can see the relationship. It was very divine relationship they shared, both husband and wife.
Even we saw the picture like he's doing some puja
Yes.
to her. Yeah, it's very great. Yes.
Okay.
I think our masters are good. So if you have any questions, you may come up, or shall start meditating now. Okay. So let's sit together, masters. We shall start doing meditation now. So, like meditation is very easy to practice, and we use anapanasati. Ana means in breath, apana means out breath, and sati means to observe your own breath. So be a grand observer to your own breath, and your breath is your own master. So you may drink 1 glass of water and keep another glass of water beside you so that you can drink the water later. You may sit on a sofa or chair with your feet crossed. Hands should be clasped and fingers interlaced. Put on your thighs. Close your eyes. Remove spectacles. Do not use any earbuds. Do not wear any eye masks. You may lean to keep your spine comfortable. Make sure you're more comfortable. Sit in a calm, cozy place. Make your room dark. Just breathe calmly by consciously observing your own breath that is happening naturally. No kumbhaka, no pranayamam, no rechaka, no mantra, no japa, no tantra, nothing. Do not hold or stop the breath. Cut stray, idle, and unnecessary thoughts. Just observe the breath. Stay relaxed. Now I'll play wonderful meditation music. Enjoy the music now. 1 minute, masters. Last 10 seconds. Please come to the body consciousness. Be with your breath. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. My dear friends, take your both hands and keep them on your eyes for 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly take your hands away and slowly open your eyes. Those who want to continue meditation, please go on. And as friends, please come back. So, my dear friends and my dear masters, you have done a wonderful meditation with the melodious music. Thank you so much, my dear friends. And let's show our gratitude for we given an opportunity to meditate, thanking to ourselves and thanking to the universe and thanking to the great grand masters and thanking to Mahavatar Foundation Rangnath sir and thanking Brahmash Patriji and all other grand masters. So yes, masters, you have done a wonderful meditation. And if you want to share any meditation experience, please raise your hand. I think you all are good, right? Okay, then have a good night and we'll see you tomorrow again at 9 p.m. with another wisdom share topic. Thank you all, masters. Have a good night. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night. Namaskar.